Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Fantasy League show with Blood Husky and Anfield Agenda. I'm here as always with Billy the Arsenal fan, and we're going to do our best to go over the week. Some of the big talking points, plans for next week, see how we got on, talk about some of the movers, the shakers, generally just what's been going on in fantasy football. So, Billy, how are you?
Good. Another above average week, so I'm happy.
Yeah.
Moved into the top 100,000, 63 points this week.
Yeah, just the 63, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, you bet me. Is this the first week you bet me?
Yeah, I know. We're just, we're just settling in now. We're just settling in.
I know.
Yeah, I got 68. But I had Sterling captain. Who would you have captain?
Sterling as well. Probably missed the trick on Salah, but
yeah,
or Pookie could have been captain too. But
yeah,
Sterling was happy. You have to be happy enough your captain gets one goal. Don't know.
Yeah. What do you? We were talking about that today. Like, do you think there's ever how? Like, I know a lot of people are bringing in Pookie now.
Yeah,
and he's getting the points. And when he's in form, everything looks like that's a decent fixture. But do you think there's going to become a point where it's like, oh, I'm captaining him? You can guarantee that he's going to do the business. Because I don't think there will be.
Look,
I think just having him.
Look, there might be a week. Let's say Liverpool away to City, and United have a tough fixture, and there might be a week where you say, oh, Norwich at home to Brighton, for example. Yeah, go on, I'll have a punt on them this week. But I think most weeks you're going to find a better option.
Yeah, you should. Like, that's the thing. Like, if you're playing the game well, you will have you'll probably have better options in your squad. Yeah, I think there'll come a point where he will stop scoring goals. So, I'm just happy for the moment I have him in. Brought him in, he got the goal. Excuse me. And Jimenez saved me a little bit at the end, coming in late with that goal. So, two cheap strikers, both scoring goals. It's all right, but yeah, captaincy maybe not. So, what about your team overall? Are you happy with your team?
Yeah, well, look, last week was a real eye-opener for clean sheets, wasn't it? There was
what clean
who
sheets?
was it? Villa, Southampton, and Newcastle.
Yeah,
you're doing well to have any of those, really.
Yeah,
Liverpool conceded late.
Yeah.
City, even you didn't even get point saves for Ryan. They just conceded 2. That was it.
Yeah.
Clean
sheets are not the order of the day at the moment. So you're looking for the attacking fullbacks. You're looking for, like you said, Everton failed to score, Brighton failed to score, and Spurs failed to score. That's it. With next week's fixtures in mind, do you see any standout fixture for the week where maybe you could sneak in a differential and maybe look for something that's not the obvious captaincy? Leicester, Bournemouth. That to me, I'm looking at that. That's you got.
Yeah, well, if you Jamie Vardy or Madison, they're an option there.
Yeah.
Bournemouth still aren't firing going forward, are they? They're not. Again, could you confidently captain one of them? I couldn't confidently captain.
No, I could never. No matter what Callum Wilson was doing, no matter what King was doing, I never felt confident enough to actually stick the captaincy on him, unless it was maybe a blank or something like that. But I'm looking West Ham, Norwich. There could be goals in that. Like, could you go if you had West Ham at home to Norwich? Man City and Brighton, like. That's going to sway
that's the obvious one, I think.
Yeah, that's going to sway a lot of people. See, what I'm thinking, that's going to sway a lot of people, right, to captain Sterling, yeah?
Yeah.
So if he would just say he rotates and he doesn't play, if you didn't have Sterling, you could look out for something like, could you go with Vardy in that Bournemouth game?
You could. His underlying stats are poor this year. I think he's only 4 shots.
Billy's new favourite phrase, by the way, underlying stats.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Someone's been doing their research.
No, they are poor.
They've let in 3. And then they let in. Yeah, sorry, they've let in. Keep going. 4. So yeah.
But on top of Vardy's shots on goal,
Yeah,
they've been poor, Yeah. So whereas Madison's are a lot higher. I think he's 11 chances created this year.
Yeah.
So they're going to pay off.
You're going to get a reputation as a stat owner in a minute. Let me see.
You have to look at him like.
Yeah, it's all out there. It's more easy available than ever it was. You can get more of it now for free as well. Because you couldn't see some of the results that we had last week. You can't see Palace doing that. You can't foresee Spurs losing the way they did. So I'm thinking Everton Wolves could be another high scoring game. Everton Wolves could be.
It could.
The Marco Silva derby.
In fairness, they're both not bad at the back either. Everton still haven't fired. They're still waiting for him to start putting it together, start linking up. But
yeah, on a scale of 1 to 10, how disappointed are we with Moise Kean not in next season?
What has he? 3, 15, 20-minute appearances?
Yeah, just
no contributions. Yeah.
We had ourselves completely. Well, I had myself completely convinced that they have absolutely nothing up top. Unless his legs are broken, this kid is going to be starting minute 1. And it really wasn't the case because it's just he's not panicking. I don't think that they bought a dud. I just think he knows this is going to take. We bought him. He's not on loan. We can take our time with him.
We don't need to rush him in. Calvert-Lewin has been doing all right for him too. He's not completely out of his depth.
Yeah, which he has looked at times as well. And some people probably would have said that he was completely out of his depth.
Yeah.
I suppose something else.
There's always goals in the North London derby if you want to fancy captain Harry Kane.
Yeah. If you got the money, if you got the player.
Yeah. He's going to drop, I think, tonight or tomorrow. He's going to go back to his original 11 million.
Yeah, he's 11.1 at the moment.
Yeah,
he's still up there. He's behind. He's level on fancy points with Aubameyang on 17.
Yeah,
they're the same price. So if you were having to pick one, and that you'd still have to keep him in your team for a couple of days or a couple of game weeks afterwards.
If you have to pick one, I'd pick Aubameyang. Not because I'm an Arsenal fan, but just because.
Watford and Villa afterwards.
Yeah,
and
there's 2
up to United.
Yeah, but then for if you're looking real long term, from game week 8 to game week 14, I think they play no one from last year's top 6.
Well, this is something then we can move on to because I'm thinking that I'm probably going to play my wild card now before during the international break. I'll have
after this game week, is it?
Yeah, after this, I'll have it active. And this what I think I've just come to this conclusion this year. It's the best time to play it this year is to play your first wild card. Is to play it early because if you leave it too late, you can it's a bit too late to get on board with people. It's still early enough to get on board with people. That's kind of the way I'm thinking on it this year. Everybody's team is different, of course, but you are looking at it differently because of what you've been saying about the fixtures later on.
I'm probably going to wait till game week 8. Just looking at after game week 8, there is Arsenal, United, Leicester, and Chelsea fixtures get very, very good, and the Liverpool fixtures tighten up a bit. I think who do Liverpool have to have?
Liverpool have United, Leicester, Spurs, and Aston Villa from 8 till game week 8 to 11.
Yeah,
and then they play Manchester City, and then it's Palace, and then it's the United game. The game after that is Brighton. So it's not there again. So yeah, they are tough enough. Yeah, every second one is a tough fixture.
Yeah, and it's around the time of Champions League. So could you see a small bit of rotation in Liverpool there?
Yeah,
obviously we don't know if they're home or away before the games. Yeah, but if they have to go away to someone in Europe and then come back and they're away to United, it's
Yeah.
Well, look, you do expect Liverpool to win most of these games and score in almost all of these games, but is it a case of, like we talked about earlier, are they going to win them 3-1 instead of 3-0 like last year, or are they going to win them 4-2 instead of 4-1, or 4-0, you know?
Yeah, because you've noticed something in terms of, like, what the projections are with wildcards is that the majority of people are selling Liverpool defenders. That's the way the game is going in terms of people playing wildcards. They're selling Liverpool defenders.
Well, I think they're worried. Like 7 million is a lot to invest in a defender, and especially you haven't kept clean sheets yet. Now that's going to change. I fully believe that'll change. But like, if you've 7 million invested in a defender, it's a lot of money to have no clean sheet in the first 3 game weeks.
Yeah, and it's the money as well. It's good when you're selling it. If you have expensive defenders, it's kind of, you're freeing up money for attackers when you do.
Yeah.
So you're thinking what? Like, you're saying City, Arsenal, Man United, and Leicester.
No, Chelsea in that run. Yeah. Well, like, you're still waiting on them.
You're waiting on them. Yeah.
You're waiting on them to settle down. You're waiting on. Right, is Mason Mount going to start every game? You know all this by 8 weeks in. It looks like he is, but that can change. Same with Tammy Abraham. Is he going to keep starting, do you think?
Is he the man for them? That's a really tough one to call. Like, I'd say Lampard wants him to be the man.
Yeah.
Like, Lampard is like, would love to be able to say, look who I brought through, look what I did. You know, I brought Mason Mount, maybe that one lad at the back, Christensen, which he didn't, you know. But the 2 young English lads, attacking players, doing stuff for Chelsea, he'd love to be able to say that he was doing that.
Yeah, but I think he kind of gets a free fucking hit this year with having no.
It's too right, he does. He's seen some of the press he's
Yeah, and it's not like. Yeah.
It couldn't be more up his. So yeah, he can do no right now.
He's super frank, like, you know.
Yeah, in the press. Now let's see what it goes like with. After 6 months, he's doing a terrible job. But yeah, he's sainted there. Yeah, you got all the Chelsea boys in the press. He's going to get it the easy. If he was Italian or if he was Spanish, he was a foreign, he would be out. Like,
he'd be getting slaughtered. No, yeah.
Some of their results, some of their performances.
But like, the more we look at it, the more of an anomaly that United Chelsea game the first day of the season is, like.
Yeah,
really.
Chelsea
United aren't that good, like.
Yeah,
you know?
Chelsea aren't that bad.
No. Like, there was Chelsea in the first half hit the post, hit the crossbar. You know, that game could have been, 4-3 or you know.
Yeah. But, I think he's going to be, the way I can see it going with him is he's going to have him capable of playing really good attacking football in short spurts and things like that. You know, but they'll be they'll be weak. They won't be consistent, and because they won't be consistent, they're not reliable. And when they're not reliable, you can't put them in the fancy football.
You can't put them in, and even like, they're still conceding. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Concede 2 to Norwich last week, 4 to United. Defensively, you would have 2 years ago, even last year, you would have said, I'll have me Alonso, or I'll have Aspilicueta, I'll have someone. Not this year at the back.
No, it's not there.
But again, you may look at one of them for value later on, and if you want to, like, if Mount starts as a number 10 for them for the year.
Which I think he will. I think he will, because it was kind of him and Barkley really was the call.
It was, yeah.
And it looks like, just on the evidence of what's happening, they're both fit, they're both available.
Yeah.
And Barkley isn't getting the minutes.
No, 3 substitute appearances, I think. No, he started.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah. He started first game or something.
Like, Mount is 6.2 million. I think you'd be mad not to consider him. I'm not saying put him in your team, but I'm saying you need to consider him.
Look at him, look at the guy.
Yeah.
Playing a wild card.
And after 8 games, like I say, when I plan to use the wild card, after 8 games, you'll know. It was 3 game weeks in now. It's all a bit early and a bit fresh still.
Like, he's on a calf injury at the moment.
That's the other one, yeah.
75%. And we were saying about Barkley. Yeah, Barkley's only got 3 points.
Yeah.
Mount's got 20. So there was a couple of things there. Yeah, like when we're talking about, like, I'm looking at bringing in maybe the West Ham lad, Sebastian Haller.
Yeah.
I think he's made for the Premier League in terms of the style. He's been compared a lot to Edin Dzeko.
Yeah.
But I was just looking at it. There's a few, like in that price bracket, say, just assuming you already have Pookie. You could have Seb Haller, you could have Barnes, you could have Tabby Abraham, you could have Wesley Jollington and Ingsoy, maybe. So maybe, excuse me, Pookie, Abraham, Barnes, Haller. Like if you had Haller and Pookie, what do you think? What do you reckon with West Ham? Do you think West Ham are
West
good
Ham?
goals?
They're always a good attacking football team, aren't they? They're always going to get goals.
Yeah.
So yeah, but is there better options at West Ham? Is what I'd be. Do you know? Is it like
quickly do the fixtures, right? Working backwards up to now. Palace, Bournemouth, at home to United, Aston Villa, and Norwich. That's a lovely little run of games. Like, so if they're going to do damage, you'll see it. You'll be able to pick, I think, more because your man Fornals that they bought, he's in a kind of a Moise Kean situation. He's not quite in the team yet, but they've got Lanzini playing, Antonio playing, Felipe Anderson playing.
That's what I'm saying. Is there better value in one of those in midfield? What do you think? Or do you go with Haller?
You know, I think you could almost get, if you're playing a 3-5-2, you could have Haller and you could have Lanzini as a fifth midfielder.
You could have two of them.
You could, if they had a run like that and they were playing well. Like Lanzini 6.5. Like he's in. Okay, well, let's say, look, we're talking about £6.5 million midfielders. Yeah. This boy that everybody's bringing in,
Norwich.
Yeah, Cantwell. Yeah, lovely time. Where do you think he's come from? What's like? What did you know anything about this kid?
No, very, very little. No, I'm not going to lie. I didn't even look him up after the Newcastle game. I thought it was just a one-off. But then he scores again against Chelsea, didn't he?
Yeah, he's in there. He's in the game for €4.7 million, and he's got 19 points. He's a midfielder.
Yeah.
Just in case anybody's wondering, he's played 90 minutes in every game. He's got 2 points, 10 points, and 7 points. He's now owned by 11.8%, so he's finding his way into some teams. So he is the perfect midfield enabler. You know,
can you have him and Pookie though?
That is the question. Once you brought him in, because all these lads that are bringing him in, are they going to play? Are they going to put him on? Would you put him on the bench and then double up when they're at home? That's an option.
Yeah, we'll give yourself a call to make there. And
because you can leave him on the bench for
4.7 you can, yeah. But there is games you're going to want to play him, and then which means benching someone else. And inevitably you get these calls wrong, don't you? You expect them to.
It's one for the strategists, isn't it? It's like if you're just going to randomly throw him in, you go, he's good, and then think about it. You will have kind of two Norwich players.
Yeah. But if I had said to you 3 weeks ago, you're going to have two Norwich attackers in your side,
I know.
You would have laughed at me, like, you know.
Yeah, I would have. Yeah, look, I would thought out of a lot of them, maybe Aston Villa, even though I wasn't expecting them. So no one was expecting. We're expecting Norwich to play attacking football.
Yeah.
But how that would translate, because I think a good bit of the talk was around the young Argentinian lad that they brought in, whose name I've forgotten at the moment. They thought he was going to Buendia. He is where is he? He's in at 6 million. He's got 11 points. So a lot of people are saying he could be a bit of a smash. He could be a good player. You know.
He has 2 assists as well.
Yeah. So, do you think now? Do you think you can come to judgment on a team yet? Is it too early? Are our patterns fixed now? Are things like bias is confirmed? are like you looking at one or two players going, yeah, I wasn't quite sure, but I was teetering. Yeah, but now you can tell he's definitely worked it this year. He's going to be
look,
safe there.
there's some of them you can. There's some of them you can rely on, I think, for it. But then, especially with promoted teams, I'm a lot less likely to jump on them. I'm a lot less likely to read too much into them after 3 games. Because they get the whole new league bounce.
Good weather. Don't forget the weather's still really nice in England. No, but seriously, those foreign lads, some of them, they can disappear around December, January.
Yeah, well,
they're not used to the conditions. Like literally, they've never lived in northern parts of England or whatever. It's nice. It's still 30 degrees in London. 35 degrees pitch side for the game of the weekend Spurs game, I think. So yeah, there's still that that freshness to it. But the the old staples are there. We all know Sterling and Salah.
Yeah,
we know City, we know Liverpool. We know United are still a shambles. We know, we know Wolves are still Wolves. We know Leicester are still Leicester.
Yeah,
Arsenal could be a very different team at the end of the season than they are now. There's a couple of teams like Southampton could be a very different proposition in 6 months than they are now, and I think they could pass a couple of teams on the way up.
Yeah. Well, it's the same as what we're talking about with Chelsea, though. So yeah, you can go with your Salah, Sterling, and actually one that we're still regretting is Kevin De Bruyne.
Yeah,
these are players that have done it in years gone by.
Yeah. There's no question. Yeah, is he a good? Yeah, we know. It's just like which version of him is it going to be in the fantasy? Because a slight change in role, can make a huge difference.
Yeah, but there's a lot
Somebody can be you can be on set pieces last year, and he could be on half it. He could be just on set pieces from a particular side this year. Little things, but he does seem to be having a much more attacking impact than I thought he was. I thought he was going to be controlling from deep a lot more. But he's not. He's just attacking constantly. It's all over the shop.
Actually, that Rodri seems to be doing a lot of that for him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he got arrested the weekend. So you can. That's the thing with City. They can rest these lads that you wouldn't even notice. You could you wouldn't really pick up on that. Like, we rested Rodri for a game, but that could be beneficial in the next.
But like, if you look at last year, they were so dependent on Fernandinho. They had to get someone, and now we have Gundogan is finally fit as well, isn't he?
For the moment, I think it was him. He came in at the weekend, and they were and they could sell Delph because they didn't need that cover.
Yeah, actually, he's one that's fully fit now.
So that's one for the wild card is like to get Sterling, KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, whatever, Salah, all in your same midfield.
That's tough.
You see, that's why I'm asking these. That's why I'm talking about strikers that cost what Havertz, what Barnes costs, what Jimenez costs. So it's if you could be looking at, like, I have Jimenez and Pookie, right? Yeah. And if I was selling, I'd be downgrading Ederson and Van Dijk or someone like that. So it's all your money. So it's Salah and Kevin De Bruyne. If you're going to have Sterling, that's a tough one. That's going to be where all the calls will be made.
Well, you know what's going to happen as soon as you bring them in. One of them gets injured, or remember the Champions League is going to start up as well soon. So there is going to be a rotation. City have the world of players to go in there instead of Kevin De Bruyne for one.
I'm looking at Mahrez now. He's a lad that before you know it could have. But
he has 6 goals and 5 assists. But
the top 3 midfielders in the game are Sterling, Salah, and De Bruyne.
Yeah.
So that's probably going to be there. That'll be there in the top 5.
They will, for sure. Barring an unlucky injury or something,
Yeah, if they just keep going. But that's so. If you couldn't go down, there was another lad you were interested in. You've had your eye on John McGinn.
Yeah, he's again, he's new. He's new up with Villa, but he is an enabler. 5.6 allows you to. He's not cheap enough to just be on your bench. He has to start at 5.6, I think, as your 4th midfielder.
5 is your cutoff, really, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, 5, or if that's why
basically
4.7.
What we're saying is anybody if they cost more than 5 million, you can't have them sitting on your bench. They really need to be playing in your team. So if you're getting that cheap guy, you got to be prepared to play him. You got to be prepared to use the money, but he has to play. Like, he's got to play.
He has to play. Yeah, exactly.
If it's like we're talking about Cantwell, he's 4.7.
Yeah.
If it's not working, you can set him down. It's not the end of the world. So but a lot of people were talking. All the football people were talking about McGinn before he came up. They were saying that he's the real deal. He should never have been playing at the level he was playing at. At the second he gets to Premier League level, he'll have no problems whatsoever, and he'll show everyone what he's about. And pretty much,
he's
done that. Yeah,
he's probably been the most offensive player they have, has he? Look, I haven't seen him. He's definitely the most creative player. He looks a lot better than Grealish would have been one you might have considered at the start of the year as an Aston Villa option, but he's not.
I was waiting for Grealish because Grealish, he looked like he was made to come back this year. He's got everything to prove. He's 4 years older than last time he was here. I think at least it's a long time. And he was very young when he was here before. But yeah, McGinn has stepped up. But I thought even if he was excellent, I thought he was only going to be maybe a Jordan Henderson type of kind of a box to box, kind of just more standard midfielder. He seems to have, not denigrating Jordan, of course, he's excellent when he's left off the leash. But he seems like he's got a lot more about him. He seems
to be playing a more advanced role than what Henderson played for Liverpool. He seems to be more of a focal point for their attack, to be honest. So,
have you seen how, unfortunately, we've only had a few games this season, and Villa are one team that I haven't actually seen more than just, not even highlights, clips.
I've seen clips and match of the day and stuff like that, but I haven't sat down and watched them for 90 minutes yet.
Yeah, their team, they've got that guy up top. Wesley, he could be anything. Nobody knows really anything about him. I'd be very, just say they're a team that, I'd say you absolutely cannot draw any conclusions about yet. League football or fancy, who their assets are, who their best players are, who their sort of undroppable players are, who runs the show for them, who takes all the free kicks, who takes this, who takes that. That stuff kind of might settle down. And when they have good players, it might be worth, or they have players, so it might get to the point where it's worth knowing about. But at the moment, I think you can kind of, if you want to stick in John McGinn, okay, do it. He'll probably take along for you, but
not for you, no.
I don't know. I just don't know enough about them yet to see what they're at. They could be relegated, or they could finish 10th.
But you have to. You're not going to get a team full of players in the top 6.
No, I just don't see it now. In that, just in terms of, I don't know enough about them to judge, to say that this guy's good, that guy. I really don't, because he's got a guy here, Douglas Luiz, in midfield. I don't even know who that is. He's got 13 points. It's just, there's a lot of unknowns in that team.
There is.
But someone like McGinn, it's kind of oh yeah, I've heard about him. They were talking about him for ages. And now everyone else is saying, they're watching every week, so, that guy's deadly. It's okay, well, if I had to pick one, hands tied behind my back, pick a Villa player, I'd put him in.
Yeah, but you're not willing to get on to any Villa player.
No, I really want, I wanted a team like Southampton. I know we keep going on about Southampton, but they've got great players and a really good manager. Some great young, not great players.
No, if they're great, someone would have bought them. That's the thing with that.
Yeah, no, they score goals, but they can always score goals. And it's just get a bloody £7 million striker in there. Let him score goals. That dude that was there a while ago, Austin, Gabbiadini. Those lads, when they were on form and in that team every week, you play for Southampton. If you're a decent striker, all you have to do is play every week. They have a lot of creative players around. You'll score a decent amount of goals. So I want that guy. I want Danny Ings,
Danny Ings, yeah.
Two accident, too injury prone. Sorry, I've got many frogs in my throat tonight. So they've kind of let me down a bit. They were a team I was looking at. So yeah,
I was always a fan of Ward-Prowse previous years because he was always
Sepp. He's genius.
Yeah, but he was always 4.5. He started this year at 6 million. So it's
the worst year. They got his price wrong. He should have been that price 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Every time he came, and he give him a dead ball, give him enough dead balls, and you'll get averaging probably just under an assist a game.
Yeah.
A goal contribution, like,
you're looking at an average of 4 or 5 points every game because he's getting an assist 1 week, he's not, and then he's getting a goal from a free kick, or he's... Yeah, what about Harry Wilson? Does he become an option after that free kick at the weekend?
He always has been, it's just Bournemouth are so fucking inconsistent that, I always think twice because he didn't start one game, then he does, and he's not going to be knocking in worldies every week.
No.
And Harry Wilson is someone that I'll let someone else have that. Someone else can have him. It'll be great when you get the points, but I'm not sitting there being the one.
Yeah. Again, if he's 5 million, not 6, you might go on him.
Yeah, if that's all he's doing, if all he's he's not contributing hugely outside of just set pieces, then no. If he's playing every week and he's making assists and he's getting involved, then he becomes an option, definitely. What have you got?
Do you still have Ceballos in your team, Ceballos?
Yeah, for what will end up being all of 2 games, I'd say.
2 games, you're not going to keep him, no?
Nah, I don't think so. There'll probably be other options. Might regret it.
Again, he's probably like Arsenal in general. As in he'll get you a goal and 2 assists, and he'll get you nothing for 3 games.
For 3 games, yeah. He's in 12% of teams, and considering he came in a little bit late.
But he came in kind of under the radar too, especially to fantasy. If they price him at 5.5 million, he's not Torreira, he's not Xhaka, he's not, you know what I mean? He's a more attacking player than that, and they price him at the same price. It's just
they underpriced him hugely. I thought. To me, he's a £7.5 million player, just cheap enough to tempt everybody, expensive enough to cover the fact that he's number 10 for Madrid playing for Arsenal. But also the fact he's never done anything in the game before, so you can't go crazy. You can't go 11 million.
No.
But I think he's underpriced, but at the same time, he will let you down because Arsenal will let you down, not because he's not great.
Yeah. Just another one on Arsenal. It looks like Monreal is going.
Oh yeah. I heard. Yes, I heard something today. That's right. Yeah.
So do you like Kolasinac?
He's your only one.
He's a terrible defender, but he's very good going forward. Is he worth a punt for a few weeks?
Fixtures
aren't bad for him. Obviously they've Tottenham this weekend. But there's usually goals in that, and there's usually a good few goals in that. Watford away. Even.
Do you think he could play the Tottenham game?
I think he might play. Yeah, I think the Monreal is kind of out, unless they decide, look, he's been a good servant and we can give him this last game,
Yeah.
But other than that, I think Kolasinac starts. Now,
but
Tierney starts when he's fit, but that's typical Arsenal. That's been pushed back till October now.
She's played 19 minutes all season.
Yeah, but that's because Monreal is fit.
I know, that's.
I'm not promoting Arsenal defence here. Don't get me wrong, but
you
think as an attacking fullback, I think he plays the next 5 or 6 games.
Well, if he's gone, right? I'm just looking at your, as usual, you fucking 5 defenders red. One of them's gone. Two of them are gone, and the one you bought, that's classic Arsenal. Tierney out for 6 months. Yeah, welcome to Arsenal.
Welcome to Arsenal. Yes, it was originally back to after the international break, and now it's back to 6th of October. So who knows?
Yeah, see after Christmas. I don't worry.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just looking at your list. There's absolutely, you don't even have someone that you could even say, look, he could do a job at left. I mean, that's just it. There's Kolasinac, and that's it. You don't even have another a fullback.
No.
And just, do you have anyone in midfield?
That'll play. Do you remember last year Xhaka had to go back there for a game?
Yeah, that shows how badly.
That shows how badly off they were.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Does he become an option for just obviously not a long-term option, but for 6 weeks, 6 game weeks?
Well, if you have him and you throw him in, and because no one else will have him, seriously, no one's going to have him. So you could get 3 games out of him. He does what he does, 0.8% ownership, and all of those points are yours.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do it, but it's something I have in the back of my head. All right.
Yeah, you have an eye on it because that's a mad situation. Like that will obviously mean he might be getting games, but the fact that you have one fit left back is crazy.
Yeah.
Unless you're going to start playing with 3 central defenders
and play a wing back,
and then so you could be looking at that. Then you could have when Bellerin comes back, you could have him and Klasnick playing as wing backs, and that's a whole other story then in fantasy. So that could be something to keep an eye on. Maybe I don't think he's ever played 3, does he?
He has. He did a couple of times last year, all right. But it looks like Bellerin will be back before Tierney at this stage. He's back out on the pitch training.
Yeah, the forgotten man.
Well, it's a full year.
They're still saying unknown. So if we're just looking at a few for the weekend coming up, we've got to mention John Coyne. Yeah,
at
the top of the league, 178 in that. No, that's just a blood husky points, all right.
Yeah.
Triple captain Salah, sold proper and brought in Cantwell. So nice one, John. All of that giveaway stuff, all of the t-shirts, all those things, that'll be after this weekend. So during you'll find out during the international break, because we'll just wait till this weekend's fixtures over, and then whoever's top of the month then. So hopefully, John, fair play, man. You've been doing well. So if you're still top, you'll totally deserve it. So Bill, what about your plans for the weekend? Not drink wise, fancy.
Not drink wise. No, I'm off Sunday. No, I took Sunday off. So
being the boss, mate. That's it.
It's the North London derby, like.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Quick prediction on that one.
3-2 Arsenal.
3-2 Arsenal. Okay. He is Billy the Arsenal fan after all.
You can't. Well, I did say Liverpool were going to beat us last weekend and beat us comfortably, and that turned out right too.
Yeah. No, and I didn't give you a hard time over it. I could have said there was only one place to start, and that was at Anfield, but we didn't. So you're going for a victory for Arsenal, right? So what are you doing team wise then?
I'm going to wait. I'm waiting to hear about Mount, if he's going to play the weekend or not. Because if he doesn't, then I still have Barkley in my team. Yeah. I really need to move him on soon. But
that is cool, because you have that. I mean, if Mount isn't playing, then that means basically Barkley is guaranteed. As guaranteed as you can be.
Yeah,
got that thing there,
So I'm not making a sub this week because I need 2 subs next week. It's one of those. I need to get money from somewhere to do it, so I'm not going -4. I tend to not do that. So this week it'll be Ryan in goal, Zinchenko, Digne, Van Dijk. Then it's either Lundstrom or Barkley, depending on what the word is on Mount. Midfield, Sterling,
and that is the same. And Lundstrom, Barkley. They're playing each other.
Yeah.
So you have a call to make in that game,
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see what's said in the press conference Friday about Mount, or Thursday, whenever it is. If he's fit, then I'll start Lundstrom. If he's not, then I'll start Barkley.
Right.
Then midfield, I have Sterling, Salah, Ceballos, Vardy, Pukki, Callum Wilson. Captain this week is Raheem Sterling.
At home to
Brighton.
Yeah.
Look, if we talked, there's a few options there. You could go Vardy, Pukki be a gamble.
Yeah.
Callum Wilson I don't consider as an option. Salah away to Burnley is an option. What's Sterling at home? Again, I prefer my captain at home. Yeah,
it's a deal breaker when you need a deal breaker. It's a deal breaker. It's a good deal.
Home or away. Home. I take home. I think there's going to be a lot of that this year, especially with Salah and Sterling. I don't see myself rotating off the two of them much at all this year. Maybe when they play each other, You know,
Like even if you had Kevin De Bruyne, you'd still be if you had Kevin De Bruyne and Sterling, you'd still be captain in Sterling.
I'd still be on Sterling, yeah. And if I had Aguero, I'd still be on Sterling too, because the extra point for the goal for the midfielder.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, that's me for this week. Bench then. Yeah, the bench. Actually, there's one from last week. Then Dunker didn't start for Wolves. Do you see that?
Yeah.
And he's like, the reason he's in my team is because he just starts every week.
Yeah. There's no other. Yeah, there's no reason to have what it was like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've gone and got myself in a bit of a situation anyway, because I had to go early because Fraser was going down in price, Martial was going up in price. You can all see where this is going. I now have Martial in my team, and he's injured, and he's definitely not playing at the weekend. So my team would be Ederson, Dean, Trent, Van Dijk, Zinchenko, Lundstram, Salah, Sterling, then Donker, Ceballos, Jimenez, Pukki. So I'm in a kind of a thing. Do I bring in Mason Greenwood and knowing he's not going to start and saying, you never know, he might come on for the last 10 minutes and get one of those tap-ins that guys come on for the last 10 minutes get? Or do I bring in Lundstram playing away at Chelsea to hope that maybe he just goes up and does something because they're not right at the back and they might be vulnerable from set pieces? I mean, that's kind of the thinking there, really. That's the only way of... It's either that or that. It's not. It's a rock or hard place. Greenwood or Lundstram. Is
it a substitution to bring in Greenwood? Or is he on your bench?
Oh yeah, he's on my bench.
Oh, he's on your bench, right.
Yeah.
I still go with Lundstram if I was you, which means you're going to go Greenwood.
It'll probably be the 4-3-3 with Pukki and Jimenez and Greenwood on the bench, and just get the 90 minutes. Because if Lundstram is playing for 90 minutes and the other guy is playing for 10 minutes, then I think something 9 times better chance of scoring. Like, he's going to be on the pitch for longer. Then maybe like Greenwood, he's a striker. If they're tired, they're winning the game. They're away at Southampton, but I don't think Southampton away is going to be the kind of them getting last minute tap ins. So Lundstram is probably the better bet, even though it sounds crazy to say a Sheffield United defender away at Chelsea.
He probably could have had a goal at the weekend as well. Actually, Lundstram. Did you see it?
Yes, he's heavily involved. He's he's a handful. He might be the kind of player that when teams have played him for a second time, or managers come across him for a second time, they'll say, "Well, look, don't do this with that guy. He's weak on that," or whatever it might be, because he's going to be surprising a few people at the moment because they wouldn't recognise him in the street, let alone know what his strengths and weaknesses are on the pitch. Depending on how highly prepared they are, but like they'll been highlighted to them, like. But unless you come up against someone on the pitch, you can't really know. So yeah, that's probably what I'll do. So we both have similar teams. I know it's very boring. So we had similar points. We're very tough.
But you're using your wildcard first.
So that's where we'll split off and we'll see what happens. Excuse me. So unless there was anything else that I've stupidly forgotten to talk about, I don't think there is. I'm going to say we'll leave it at that for tonight. Billy, thanks very much. Thanks for coming on.
No worries. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, I'll talk to you soon. So good luck at the weekend. Everybody in the league, if you're close to the top, you never know. Make a good transfer. You never know what might happen. We might be talking to you or presenting you with something. So yeah, make good transfers. Do not go minus. And we'll say good night.
Good luck.